So today we discuss the overview, end-to-end process I am going to explain. So what we are going to do, there are two roles in group reporting. So when you start implementing group reporting, for example, at your customer place, you are in a workshop and you want to go through entire process of group reporting. So the first question comes from the customer. So what group reporting can do? What are the capabilities of group reporting? So now you have to show what the local accountant is going to do, what is the group accountant is going to do. That entire process you are going to demo to the customer. So the demo should be in the system. So it is the main requirement, everyone knows. Now what I'm going to do, I will show you those two roles, local accountant and group accountant, what they are going to do. Local accountant, there are some tasks which he has to execute. Group accountant, he has to consolidate the data. So both the tasks I am going to execute, and we are going to just see the overview. The same thing you can, when you are discussing with your customer, you can also show same way. So first we need to connect to the Fury screen. This is our Fury screen. The local accountant. So anytime first the local accountant work starts. What local accountant is going to do? Local accountant is going to close or prepare entity level P&L statement or consolidated P&L statement or balance sheet or currency translation. See what are the things that local accountant is going to do? You can see here. So first go here. The local accountant has to set his global parameters. So whether he want to do the IFRS consolidation or US GAAP consolidation. So there are different versions here. So he can select the version. Once he selects the version, he has to set the fiscal year for which period he is going to consolidate, which year. Then there is something called data monitor. This data monitor will have all the tasks required for this particular local accountant. For example, if you see here, overall status, it is whether all the tasks are completed or not. These are called tasks. Balance carry forward is a task. Release universal journal is a task. Data collection is a task. Validate universal journal, calculate net income, validate reported data, currency translation, validate standardized data. So these are my consolidation units. You can have a number of groups. You can have many groups. So America group, Europe group, world group. Each group is, for example, America group, you have Canada and US. And US is the holding company, Canada is the subsidiary. So this configuration, subsidiary or associate, this configuration at group level, when you are creating the group, we are going to mention that. So if you see the world group, all the 5 entities are there. In that, TA00 is the holding company. Now, the local accountant is going to execute each individual consolidation unit. For each individual consolidation unit, these are the tasks he is going to perform. So when data collect, for first thing what he is going to do, he is going to, if continuous process, as you know, when you are starting group reporting, it's a continuous process. So any balance carry forward is there, just he need to complete the balance carry forward. First thing will be universal journal, release universal journal data. So the local accountant, what he is going to do, he is going to collect data from all SAP units. All SAP units data will be there in the ACDOC A table. ACDOC A is a table which is also called as universal journal table. He is going to collect data from this universal journal tables. What he is going to do, he has to, there is a task here, this is the task, the intersection, consolidation unit and that task, there is at the intersection, he has to right click and click on update. So when you click on update, it automatically goes this thing, and here you can see what is the data coming from the universal journal. This is the data available in the universal journal table. This data he can release. He just clicks on here, save data. So it will be moved to ACDOQ table. That is the first task the local accountant is going to perform. It is at consolidation unit level. The next task he is going to perform is data collection. So I'm the local accountant. I am responsible for SAP units and non-SAP units. So for the non-SAP units, we have to collect the data from CSV files.
Kiran, sorry to disturb. The last step you did to release the data, can you show that again, please? How did you release the data?
Yeah, I will show you. This is just kind of demo. All the steps I'm going to explain in this.
Okay.
Individual things we are going to discuss from next Saturday.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, just you need to understand. You just need to give a demo to the customer. For example, you need to go through all the steps, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is only a demo class, Kiran.
It's kind of overview, entire thing, what happens in group reporting. Demo, yesterday it was demo, it's overview session to understand what is the capability of group reporting. It's like end user demo.
You showed all the syllabus yesterday itself, because
Correct. Syllabus yesterday only we have done. Now these are the tasks performed by local accountant. So we configured these things. Actually, I configured these things. How to configure these things, we are going to discuss from the next week.
Okay. Well, today only I can stay 30 minutes, Kiran. I'll definitely join from next week.
Yeah, sure. Today I'm recording. You will get the record.
Okay, thank you.
So, release universal journal is the first task. Second task will be data collection for all non-SAP units. We are going to collect the data. So, all non-SAP units, we are going to collect the data from CSV files. CSV, comma, delimited. Or semicolon delimited. So, SAP by default gives a method to collect data by semicolon delimited. You can also configure your own delimiter. Now, data collection, what it does, it gets data from the flat files. How, when the user right clicks and the local accountant right click here, when you click on update, see, test means like test run, update means it updates your tables. So when he clicks here, he can see reported import data. He can select the file, whatever the file, that is basically the trial balance, you can say. So he will select the file, required file, whatever is required, whatever data. Then he will click on execute and it will be loaded, and you will see the log also. You can read the log also. So that is the second step. So first step, collecting data from universal journal. Second step, collecting data from CSV files. Both you can. So when you are giving to the demo, you can just both you can execute and you can show the data. Then validate universal journal data. So validate universal journal data is basically, this is TA00 is basically my SAP unit. How can I say TA00 is SAP units, all others are non-SAP units? Because TA00 is having a task here. See, release universal journal, which is available here. For remaining, it's a red color line. When it is red color line, that means those are not SAP units. That's how I found. So you can validate this universal journal data. Validate in the sense, when you are moving data from your universal journal table to group reporting, right? So whatever data you released, so that should be equal to the data whatever is there in the universal journal table. So the trial balance should be 0, right? Assets equal to liabilities plus equity. So whatever validations applicable, right? Those system will apply and it will check the data whatever you released is matching or not. So you just right click here and you can click on update. It will tell you if any errors. So here what type of errors might come? So sometimes your ACDOC data might not match your ACDOC table data, or ACDOC means universal journal data might not match with group reporting. So for that, what are the reasons we are going to discuss in the future sessions. At that time, you will get an error here. This is the second task. Third task, that local accountant is going to run. Then net income calculation. See, you know, in FI system or universal journal, the net income is yearly once it's calculated. Right? Once the period is closed, it is year is closed, then net income is calculated. But here, when you are talking about group reporting, with main functionality, one of the functionality is legal consolidation. You need to close every month, right? Every month you need to calculate the net income, and you have to move that net income to the balance sheet net income account. So P&L net income you have to calculate. The P&L net income should be updated that balance sheet net income account. So when you run, system is going to run that particular task. It is going to calculate the net income, and it will post to the group balance sheet net income account for any task. So for example, right click here. When you test, right, it will tell. So retained earnings are updated. So I already ran, that's why it is saying existing data has not been changed. So for this, we need to configure the things. What is the balance sheet net income account? What is the P&L net income account? Those configurations we have to do it in the SPRO. Now here you have a validation again here, validate reported data. See, before running net income calculation, your balance sheet will not match, because when you calculate the net income is calculated, that is transferred to your balance sheet, then your assets and liabilities, assets plus liabilities plus equity becomes 0. That's why you have to run this particular validation. So the validations, whatever validations you want, you can configure here. So you can configure net income is matching with your balance sheet net income or not, whether your assets are matching equivalent to your equity plus liabilities or not, whether your asset value, overall value is less than greater than your accumulated depreciation or not. So these validations, yeah, you can perform using reported data. So reported data is nothing but you have collected the data in the local currency, whatever non-SAP units, whatever data you released from the SAP units, both together called as reported data. So the reported data you need to validate. Once it is validated, the local currency values, so this reported data in the local currency, the local currency values, entity level, whatever P&L values, whatever balance sheet values, those values should be converted to group currency. For this way, for example, for America group, the group currency is Euro. For Europe group, the group currency is Euro. For world group, the group currency is Euro. So mainly my group currency is Euro. You can have multiple group currencies for that separate process. That I will explain later in the sessions. So now, if you see here, currency translation, here red color line is there, right? Some units you can execute the particular task. Why this line came? Basically, France and Switzerland, the consolidation unit currency is Euro. The group currency also Euro. That's why currency translation is not applicable. So when you get your local currency becomes your group currency. That's why no need to run any currency translation. But now if you see here TA00, this TA00, this particular consolidation unit, currency is USD, but the group currency is Euro. That's why I need to run the currency translation. So when you run the currency translation, for example, for this US local currency is USD, it should be converted into group currency. So you can run currency translation here, right click and run, update. So it will calculate the group currency values and it will post to the group reporting tables.
Kiran.
Yeah.
You said if the group currency is different, then only it is going to calculate now. But in case of US01, it is only USD, no? But why it is showing? Why it is not showing red color?
For US, right? Local currency is
group currency and local currency same, no?
No. Group currency for all my three groups, euros.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So now you see the system run the currency translation, right? How we configured for P&L one process, average rates we are using. For balance sheet non-historical accounts, we are using opening balance one calculation, movements one calculation. Historical accounts, opening balance one calculation, movements one calculation. So based on our formula, system is calculating these particular
Okay, but the rates are coming from the ticker table, no?
Rates are coming from the ticker table.
Okay.
Right. So here translation difference it calculates based on the formula you configured. Right. So and it transfers that particular calculation difference or translation difference to a separate account or the same account based on your configuration. So this is the result of currency translation. You can see group currency amount, you can see local currency amount, you can see the translation difference, and even you can see the reference amount. So reference amount minus your group currency amount is your translation difference. So reference amount always closing rate, right? Group currency amount, whatever the formula you have given, the difference becomes translation difference. So once the currency translation is run, now on top of this, if you want to post any adjustments, if you want to run some what you say reclassification, you can run. That I will explain. You can have reclassifications here. So when you run the reclassification, any entries, for example, gain on asset sale, you want to move it to other income every time when you run the consolidation. Yeah. So at the entity level, first it should be moved to gain on asset sale should be moved to other income. So you can make it as a reclassification. So automated entries system will post every time when he runs that particular reclassification. System will move data from one account to the other account. Once the currency is translated, then you have to validate the standardized data. So standardized data validates your group currency values and local currency values. Validations are same validations. Whatever validation you can run at this level, the same validations you can run at standardized data. So the reported data, standardized data, the difference is this is local currency, this is local currency plus group currency. Once he has done,
I don't know why the validations are having a cross in all the places. The validations having a cross.
Not run it. See, for example, then when something is not run, you will see that particular cross. Yeah.
Okay, got
so
it.
For example, if I run this, right click, if I run, then it moves to like this, this icon.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So next thing, these are the group accountant, local accountant tasks we performed. We need to now the next step is group accountant, what he is going to do. See? So we need to understand what are the tasks for the group accountant. Also, group accountant, some other responsibilities will be there like intercompany matching and reconciliation. So now what I'm going to do is consolidation tasks we are going to discuss. Right? Once the consolidation tasks are over, we can go with intercompany matching and reconciliation application. Or first we can run the intercompany matching and reconciliation application, then we can go for consolidation monitor. So now let's say your customer want to know how the intercompany matching and reconciliation process happens in group reporting, right? I already made a video on that, intercompany matching and reconciliation. It is available in YouTube. You can give my email ID and you can search it. If you give my email ID and if you search, you will get that intercompany matching and reconciliation. And if you just, I will take 4 or 5 minutes and I will go through that particular intercompany matching process. So first ICMR we call it as group reporting relevant ICMR process you are going to configure. So here there are 4 theory groups SAP delivered: intercompany settings, operations, reconciliation settings, reconciliation operation. So from here you can run the intercompany matching. The group accountant can run the intercompany matching. So you have different consolidation units. If those consolidation units are having any transactions, right, this intercompany reconciliation status shows all those transactions are reconciled or not. So here you can, the accountant, group accountant can go to reconciliation status overview. Here they have to select the reconciliation case. Then what are the consolidation units you want to check. So here we call it as leading unit, partner unit. So here it is going to show leading units whether the reconciliation, intercompany matching and reconciliation completed or not. So the year I want to check 2019. So here TA00 all matched. Yeah. So there are some differences. Yeah.
Leading unit and partner unit, no?
Can you repeat?
You said leading unit and partner unit, no? So what is the leading unit? CS17 is a leading unit?
No. This is different. This is hierarchy I created.
Okay.
So the leading unit will show this overview, whatever reconciliation status overview, it shows only leading unit. Now you want to see the partner unit, then you have to go into the details. Right, I will show you now. So for example, US00 or CA00. Yeah. So CA00, 16 transactions are there, 16 transactions are there, documents are there. It's not matched at, reconciliation is not performed yet. You can see reconciliation balance status. This red color means many items are pending. So you can click here, the group accountant clicks here. Then you can see this is the leading unit, this is the partner unit. So Canada and US are having some transactions. So Canada accounts payables, US accounts, Canada account receivables, US accounts payables. So this is called display group. So display group is basically having the pairing, accounts receivables compared with accounts payables in the partner unit. So leading unit, Canada posted 12,813 euros, but US posted 20,540. Right. So the difference is minus 7,726 euros. See, there is a now it is showing, see, system automatically showing in the red color this value. Why? Because when you define the tolerance, so you can define the tolerance for the difference. So if this amount is less than tolerance, system shows in the yellow color. If it is 0, that's okay. If it is more than that tolerance amount, then it will show a red color. So this should be checked. See, now when I go inside, I want to check how the difference came. So here you can see left side table, right side table. Left side table shows all your leading unit, that means Canada transactions posted against US, and right side it shows all the US transactions against Canada. Now you can also create your own layout. So here I'm just reducing the columns. Now you can see the different documents posted. So US00 against consolidation unit CA, this is consolidation unit CA00. 121100 is my accounts receivable against US, right? And the amounts are here. If you see, the entire amount is 12,813. Now if you see the right side, right, this is for US consolidation unit against this particular Canada. Yeah. So now there are multiple transactions here. In the global currency only we are matching. For example, the 12,040 here in the leading unit, 19,500 in the partner unit. So the user can pair it. So he can select this transaction, yeah, which is 12,040, and he can select this transaction, which is 19,500. Now he can assign. Now there is an issue here. You can see there is an issue here. Both are not matching. So now he has to communicate that one to someone, the relevant person. So he has to send an email to him, or he has to send a notification that this transaction is not matching. You want to know the details. as a group accountant. So what you have to do, you have to click on assign. When you click on assign, system automatically creates one number here, assignment number. Assignment number means it's not a posting document against these two. See, some people what they think, when you are selecting these two, when you are clicking on assign, that means system is generating a document. No, it's not generating any document. It is not going to post any adjustments. The adjustments you have to inform that particular people. They have to check this transaction, and if something mismatching or something they have to post, they will post it. They have to take the correction at the source level. So click on assign. When you click on assign, you have to system will ask the reason code why these are not matching. So he can select. There are some region codes already created by SAP. You can use or you can create your own. So one side, let's say in transit, something I am giving. Okay, please check. Please let me know. No, whether you received the goods or not. Right. So now assign. Now it generates a document here. So anyone can click here and you can analyze whatever document. See, these two matched. Now he can communicate this one to a person. He can send an email. So that should be configured. Right. So you can email template also. You can select. It is giving the template name. Correct. So you can write whatever you want to communicate to the local accountant, or you can send a notification to the local accountant. You can give the user ID. From the user ID, it will go and go as a notification to the user. The reason why you are giving some comment, the comment goes to the user. So where you can see the notification, you can see the notifications here when he connects. Yeah. So this is the intercompany matching process. It's a very good application. SAP delivered very good application. So prior to consolidation, you can perform, the group accountant can go through this intercompany matching process. Now the next part, yeah. Good.
So people, like for 1809, intercompany matching and reconciliation is not there. So what do you suggest for the group accountants? Nothing?
That should be done offline. I mean, so you have to create some reports and then you have to manually check. Here system is doing that one. Right. Now we have to develop, or they have to develop something. And 1809 it is not there, but later they can contact with SAP. They will give some suggestion, like patch or something, so they can go ahead.
Yeah, and one thing, you are showing documents, right? So are those documents the drill down documents to the AC/DOCA table?
No, those documents are available in ICA.m. Assignment numbers, right? So those are created in another table. SAP delivered a table called ICA.m. So in that it creates those assignments.
But there's no way to find out the actual documents posted in the AC/DOCA table. Like can the ICDO?
That's what you are seeing, right? So our data source for group reporting is ACDOCU table. So I use that source as ACDOCU, not ACDOCA. So whatever document you see in the left side and right side, those are from ACDOCU table.
I see. And from the ACDOCU table, we cannot connect to the AC/DOCA table actual underlying documents from the transactional view, right?
If you want to go like that, you have to go to group data analysis, that particular app. From there, you can drill down to the ACDOCA table.
Yeah, so that will give us a link, because all these, the root cause is the universal JE. So if one wants to drill down, then the universal JE should be looked at.
Correct.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. So now let's go back. Yeah. Now the next task, the group accountant has to complete each consolidation process. So to complete the consolidation process, so the group accountant has to click on consolidation process here, consolidation monitor. Click here, consolidation monitor. So dimension Y1 does not have a task group in dimension. So some.
Yeah, the task has.
So you have to go to consolidation process, then click on consolidation monitor. When you click on the consolidation monitor, you see consolidation monitor, the group accountant is going to execute the task at group level. America group, Europe group and world group. So group level he can execute the task. What are the tasks he is going to execute? Intercompany eliminations. So intercompany eliminations also you can separate those tasks. For example, intercompany income expense eliminations, intercompany dividend eliminations, intercompany balance sheet items eliminations, right? And also you are going to define, you have to maintain your ownership percentages. Those ownership percentages you can maintain. Any changes, right? So for example, today your investment, today Switzerland investments in France is, let's say, 75%. Next month 80%. So you can do that. I mean, group changes also you can maintain here. And also you can run the investment and equity eliminations, consolidation of investment and consolidation of investment we call it as. Those you can run here using this particular task. So when you are eliminating, for example, intercompany sales elimination, when you run, so it has taken Switzerland and France. What it does, for example, if you see this 13,000, yeah, this is the triggering amount. 411,100. The description will be there. Sales of goods. Yeah, sale of goods is eliminated. So eliminated in the same account. It's Switzerland. It's posted and it's posted to the clearing account minus 13,000. And from the sales of goods account, positive 13,000. So 1 lakh posted in the clearing account or changes in the inventory account, and other lakh posted to the same account with positive value. Same way, we have to configure all the different sequences. One is for your sale of goods, another one is for your COGS. You can configure. One is for leading unit, one is for partner unit. The same way, you have some other tasks. For example, here it is intercompany sales and costs. Here I want some balance sheet eliminations, intercompany balance sheet accounts. So right click here, test or update. So it will show all the elimination entries which are configured, payables and receivables mainly. So you can see the triggering amount. First you can see the different journal entry amounts and the elimination amounts also you can see here. So these are the triggering amounts. Many transactions are there here. Now you can see minus 25,000 posted in Switzerland, right? And that is eliminated here and posted. So this elimination posts in the group level. You can see the consolidation group here. One leg is positive and another leg will be negative. See, this D account is a clearing account. So what system did? It has taken the value 25,200. One leg it's posted in the clearing account, other leg it's posted in the same account with a negative number, so that this particular 121100 becomes 0. Next thing, you can execute investments and equity also. I mean, these are the consolidation of investments. So right click, test or update. So as part of this consolidation of investments, it will eliminate your investments, it will eliminate your capital, and it will calculate the retained earnings, NCA part, goodwill part, all those things it will calculate. Now you can see the transactions. So once the consolidation process is completed, if you want to, ultimately you need some cash flow, you need consolidated cash flow, you need consolidated changes in equity, you need consolidated comprehensive income statement, right? So these reports are whatever P&L statement you want, consolidated P&L statement or balance sheet, right? So what SAP did, they have developed some apps, group data analysis app. Yeah, using this group data analysis app, you can generate the reports. For example, go to this group, Fury group reports, group data analysis. When you go to group data analysis, so based on the version, period, right? There are so many apps. You can see YTD data, you can see periodic data. So consolidation group you select. So for example, CG00E, right? When you select consolidation group level data, it will show. And you can click on any other stuff, proper center hierarchy. You can select hierarchies also. Yeah, okay. So using this particular app, group data analysis app, you can create your own financial statements. So posting levels basically tells whether it is released data, whether it is loaded data, whether it is 20 means intercompany eliminations, 00 means it's loaded from flat files, and 30 means it is elimination entry, consolidation of investment entry. So whenever you want, so for example, if you want to see the data, just pause it. You can remove whatever common things you can remove. Even you can, yeah, refresh. So consolidation unit level, FS item wise, you can see the data. So if you want to see entire consolidated data, so remove this particular consolidation unit, right? So you can see FS item wise data. Yeah. Now you can enable the hierarchies also. Right click on this hierarchy. If you want to see only balance sheet, you can select the particular balance sheet hierarchy. If you want to see your P&L and balance sheet, both you can select. You can see balance sheet and P&L. So here it automatically shows your balance sheet and P&L. So when you expand this one, it shows the detailed values. So right click, hierarchy, expand all. Now after this we can see it is showing all the balance sheet and income statements, assets, liabilities, all the things based on the hierarchy it is going to show. Now you want to see the cash flow, for example. Yeah, for cash flow you cannot use this app. This is only for P&L statement and balance sheet. To view your, I'm not going in detail, just I'm showing as an overview. We are going to discuss detailedly, but there is a logic when you are using group data analysis. There is a new reporting logic based on the posting levels and based on the consolidation unit hierarchy, profit center hierarchy. You can generate reports. That I'm going to explain detailedly. Now, when you want to see your cash flow, comprehensive income, changes in equity, then you can go with group data analysis with reporting rules. This app. So when you click on this app, it will ask you whether unit level you want or group level. So for example, I want consolidated cash flow at group level, CZ00E, which is my Europe group. Then you select the reporting item hierarchy. Here we call it as for cash flow one reporting hierarchy, for comprehensive income one reporting item hierarchy, for changes in equity one reporting item hierarchy. So select this reporting item hierarchy. Here I created one U00X2, which is cash flow. And also you have to select reporting rule variant. So you need to remember this reporting rule variant. I did not remember. I guess it is A1. Let's click on OK. Right, now you can see the cash flow. System automatically generated. It is on the fly calculation cash flow. You can see the profit and loss and financing activities, investing activities, operating activities. If you expand this, you will get more details. Right click, expand all, you will get all the details. So there are two apps SAP already delivered. You should know how to effectively use those particular apps. Right. So this is all about group reporting overview and end-to-end scenario. This is what you are going to deliver to your customer. So you can make this one as like your demo when you in your workshops. Yeah. Based on that, you can collect the requirements. Now, what should be done? Now you have seen the overview. Now, what should be done as a consultant? That we are going to discuss from the next week. So if you are, yeah, any questions?
Hey Kiran, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Kiran. See, I'm like, I didn't want to interrupt the flow, hence this question I parked it for the last. See, we know that at entity level we are configuring three currencies, right? One is company code currency, one is group currency, and one other PCA currency, and things like that. Now, having translated all this at the entity level, when the universal journal is released for the consolidation level, why should we not take that as a go-to currency instead of, I mean, like, what is the idea behind
I got it.
A group at group level? One more currency translation is that there are effectively there will be some differences, right?
I understood your question. So what your question is basically, anyway in FI at entity level, I'm doing the when I'm clearing the balances or at the closing activity, I'm going to convert into group currency. So when you are posting, right, you are using a exchange rate and you are posting. So that is different. For group reporting, based on the accounting standard, the calculations are different. That's why always we need to transfer in the local currency values to group reporting, and there we are going to use the conversion.
So which means that it is a company code currency which goes into the group level, and then at the group level you will once again retranslate or reconvert to a group currency at the rate which is maintained at the group level. Is my understanding right?
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct. Because there non-historical accounts, one way there is a process, historical accounts there is a process, retained earnings there is a process, net income there is a process, P&L accounts there is a process. So those accounting standards we need to follow.
So for balance sheet accounts you will have different rates, and for P&L accounts you will have different rates.
Different rates.
First is over. Second one. Imagine if we have some this is within this group will work with an understanding that it is only single controlling area where fiscal year is same across the group. Imagine if there is some country where fiscal year is different. I mean, like this consolidation will not work, right? Because period 1 would be some other period at group level.
Not like that. See, any project, whatever project you take, it's rare case that your consolidation unit's fiscal year variants are matching with your group variants, right? So that is why always at a group level, right? When I define a consolidation group, I assign a fiscal year variant for that. So group level always we decide what is the fiscal year variant, what is the group currency. Your consolidation unit might have April to March or Jan to December or whatever other fiscal year variants. That is why when I am setting the global parameters, I am giving the number 2019 period number, right? I am not giving like fiscal year period, fiscal year that period.
Correct. Period at period level only you are consolidating.
Yeah. So it will take the same month based on the group level fiscal year variant period.
Fiscal year, which means majority of the companies which are in that fiscal year, a group will follow. and then if there is some requirement, local requirement, then it is addressed at the local level. It is not adjusted at the group level.
Exactly, correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, participants. I don't know whether this question was making relevant. So
it's valid question. So these are the common main things when any SAP product addresses these two things: fiscally variant and group currency. At group level, you have this configuration. Any product, any SAP consolidation product. That may be BPC, that may be group reporting, that may be any other ECCS or RTC or whatever. These two are the main important points.
So going forward, SAP will not release any enhancements on enterprise consolidation or financial consolidation or BPC, anything of that matter. It will be only group reporting going forward.
Group reporting they are going to support long time. That is for sure for our S4HANA. BPC, BW on BPC on BW for HANA, it will be there always. If they discontinue BPC, that means it's not like BPC or BW for HANA. In S4 HANA, there is a BPC. We are talking about that BPC optimized or BPC 10.1. Yeah. So that also next 10 years it will be there. So anyway, that is a separate discussion. We'll discuss in that.
Yeah. I mean, and so the group reporting is going to take over, correct? That is what the future consolidation tool.
Kiran, can we integrate also?
Yeah.
Now, I'm saying, can we also integrate planning data to this group reporting?
Correct. So you can get your data to ACDoc P table. So there is a table SAP delivered ACDoc P.
Yeah. Correct.
So from the ACDoc P, group reporting can read the data and plan data that it can consolidate.
Okay.
Right. The process. Yeah. Right. So I'm stopping the recording.